Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. So today I want to make some Christmassy bling for Christmas journals. So I couldn't sleep the other night, so I was practicing making a spine tassel. Now there are lots of videos out there of how to make these. Everyone does them differently, so do sort of check it out. This video is just how I make them. So we've got this beautiful piece of dangly jewellery, which is all these laces and beads and different things. And then I like to finish mine off with a bow tied around, and then I also add, where is it, a little bit of extra bling from the bow, which I think, you know, when this is just on your shelf, I just think that adds an extra focal point to the jewellery. And I've just got mine clipped on to the spine with a paper clip. And the way that I make them, you don't need a ton of supplies. Really, these things you probably have in your house or in your craft room already. I think it's Natasha from Treasure Books. She has a really good tutorial on making these. She does them slightly differently to me, but she has a roundup at the end of how to attach them to your journal. So definitely check that out if you're unsure. But today I want to focus on the actual building the tassel part. So what you'll need is a selection of laces, trims, embroidery threads, ribbons that you want to use for the danglies. You'll need a selection of circle or a circle items. So I've got some keyring, the ends of key rings, and then I've also got this, which this came off of a broken piece of jewellery. I've got a whole batch of broken jewellery off eBay for a couple of pounds, and this was just one of the. I think this is a jump ring, because you can open and close it, but this was just from that batch of broken jewellery. So if you've got something circular, anything like that will work for this. You want your selection of bling, shiny bling, and then for the Christmas ones, I've got some beads and I've got some charms and things, and then I've also got, oh, that one doesn't work. Oh, that one doesn't work. Oh, geez. There we go. Third time lucky. We got some jingle bells, and then I might also use some sequins. We'll see how we go. So that's what you're going to need. Okay, right. So what you want is first of all, you want to find a piece of ribbon that you're going to use as your bow. Now I'm going to use this piece of red and gold ribbon, and I like to use, it's a slightly wider ribbon, just because I think that makes it look extra special tied up. You also need a spare bit of twine or embroidery thread or string that you're going to use to help you tie up the tassel. And then we're going to thread some beads through that. So it will all become clear as we build them up. Okie dokie. So we want our selection of ribbons and trims and things. Now I've sort of used my craft mat as a guide as to how long I want them to be. I think mine are roughly something like 15 inches ish long, so that when you fold it over, you want that to obviously be, a good length of your spine. We can always trim them down if they're too long. Don't be too precise about it. Just start bringing in all the spare bits of laces and things that you have left over from your projects is a good way to do this. Okay, so I've got some Santa Claus ribbon, I've got some white lace, different types of white lace. I've got some gold sparkly boho type of trim. There's some white sort of lacy ribbon as well. And you just want to lay them out. Oops, getting myself caught up in a bit of ribbon there. Oh, I've got it attached. Okay. So you just want to lay them out. Don't be so precise about it, because you can mix things around as you start building up the tassel. So all will become clear, I promise. But what I like to do when I make mine is I like to make sure that when I'm laying down my laces and things, you can see all the colours that you're using in front of you. So you've got the red, you've got the gold, you've got the white, just because that will make sure that you've got all of the colours showing. Okay, so once you've got them laid out in front of you like this, grab your circle. Now for this one, I'm going to use the larger key ring just because I've got this gold bling, so I think those will be quite bulky. And we want to thread this over all of these different pieces. So if you grab one end of it, and oops, you might need to do it sort of bit by bit, but you know, it can be a little bit fiddly. But you just want to get that threaded through there. Oops. Make sure you've got them all in. I think I'm missing the snowy one, so I'll just pop that in. Have I got them all? Yeah, got them all. Okay, so you want to then slide your ring to approximately the middle, and then what you'll notice is it naturally, all of your different laces naturally then hang down into a sort of almost a tassel kind of shape. Now you might find like here I've got this piece that seems extra long. If you've got that, you just pull the other end of it. Sorry, I'm not quite in frame. Pull the other end of it so that it's folded over in half, or approximately half. You don't have to be exact with it. And then what I'm just checking before I start tying it up is, can I see all my different colours? So I think I want that Santa ribbon to be a little bit more of a focal point, so I'm just going to twist it over a little bit just to see if I can bring him through. And I'm going to pop that over the white, so just like that. So as you can see, whatever you have on the top is going to be sort of almost like your extra focal point. And again, that white lace just wants to come down a bit. So we might need to do some trimming, but that's absolutely fine. And I realised I've forgotten to add my embroidery thread. So also include a piece of that because we're going to thread some beads onto it. So I'm just going to tuck that in. So no harm if you have forgotten anything, just pop it in. Okay, wonderful. So we have this. So now we want to tie it into a tassel type of shape. So grab your tassel, and I'm hoping I'm being in frame all right. I've changed my camera angle just so that it's not quite as close. So I was worried it was getting a little bit, what's the word? Coming in and out of focus, so I'm hoping you can see okay. And what we want to do is we want to go maybe about 1 inch down, and I'm just going to twist, if I can. These are bulky trims, but we will manage. I'm just going to twist that around slightly, and that just helps me to get a firm grip. And then you're going to tie your piece of twine or embroidery thread around, and we're going to double knot it. So I'm just going to tie it there. Am I still in frame? Yeah, you can see me. So I'm just going to tie it as tight as you can. Now with the embroidery thread or twine, you might find that you need to, pull onto it extra tight, because it does, it doesn't want to tie it as tightly if you're using as, this is why we don't use this for binding usually. But what I find helps, God, that one wants to colour. What I find helps if so I've got a knot here, double knot. I'm then going to bring my threads around, loop it round there, and then I'm going to tie another double knot. Just because then it really, really is super, super secure. And this will all be covered by your decorative ribbon anyway, so no worries if it looks a bit messy at the top at the moment. And then you want the rest of the embroidery thread to just hang down as part of the tassel, because we're going to attach some beads and jingle bells and things to that in a minute. Okay, now if you need to do a bit of adjustment, do it now before we add the beads. So you might find, if things are bunching up a little bit at the top there, just tug them. Just tug them a bit. Or if you think things are a little bit messy, just have a tug, have a neaten up until you're happy with the shape that you've got. Okay, so we have this at the moment, looking kind of tassel-y. So I'm just going to bring in my journal just to get an idea of whether I've got it the right sort of length before we start adding on the beads. So if we were going to go about here, as you can see, I think these white pieces here maybe are a little bit long. So, but I think generally we're about right. So I'm just going to trim a little bit. Or I might add some chunky beads to those. So I'm not going to trim just yet. I might add some chunky beads. We'll see. Okie dokie. So I've got a bit of string here. So I'm just going to... where's that coming from? It's coming from the ribbon. So I'm just going to cut that off. Okie dokie. Right. So now, I mean, if you wanted to just have a very plain, looking tassel, I say plain, so you know they're decorative, without beads and things, then you would be pretty much done. You would just tie your ribbon around the middle there. But if we want to add some beads, which I do, and some jingle bells, let's do that now. So I'm going to start with the embroidery threads that are tying the sort of tassel together, because I want to add some bits and bobs to those. So I've got my tray of bling. So I'm going to start threading. And another thing that you might need is a needle that you can thread things through. If you've got like some small beads and things, you might need that. Okay, so I'm going to thread a jingle bell, and then I'm going to tie a double knot in this one just to keep it in place. There we go, that has a nice jingle, and I'm just going to cut off any excess that's not hanging down sort of too messily, I guess. And then I want to add probably another jingle bell. Do I want to use silver? I want some white ones, I think. But the white ones don't seem to have any... Maybe the white ones are just... I don't think the white ones have any bells in them. So what I'll do is I'll add white and silver to this one. So again, I'm just going to thread it through. Oops. These are a lot of fun to make, and they're so easy. I really enjoyed making the pink and blue one that you saw earlier. So I just thought I should do some Christmas ones. So I'm going to do a Christmas one, this Christmas one. I'm just going to chop the end of that just to make that a bit easier for me. So I'm going to do some Christmas ones. And then I also want to try and make a winter themed one. In, you know, blues and silvers and whites and things. Which I don't know if I will do it in one video. I might do sort of a part 1, part 2 kind of thing. But, you know, I'll put the videos up together, so if you do want to see the winter ones, then it's the same process, but you might like to see how those turn out as well, maybe. Alright. How's that? We're making a jingle sound? Love it. Okay, cool. So those are those two twines tied up and as part of the tassel. And then I also added some gold twine in somewhere. So the twine is really good for your beads and jingle bells and things. So I've got a piece there. So we'll thread some beads onto this. So I've got some gold beads. I'm just going to pause because I don't think I've got the right needle in front of me. I think that one's going to be, I don't know. I'll just try it, just see if that goes through. It does. Hopefully. Might have to, I don't have a needle threader, so I'm just going to see if I've got a better needle. 2 secs. Alrighty, I've got a better needle. I just needed a sort of bigger eye. So I've got the gold twine threaded onto my needle, and I'm just going to put it through my bead. And I want to do, I think, a couple of gold beads on this one. Just pull that through. So do I have another gold bead somewhere? Or maybe some green ones. Green might be nice. I haven't got very much green in, so I'll do a green bead. Hopefully you can see okay. And then I do want another gold bead. So the right. different sized one. I've got little ones, but I think they're going to be too small for my needle. Let's just see. Oh, oh, that did. It went on. Okay, that one will do. Okay. Alrighty, so my thread, there we go. Be careful if you're using some sparkly twine like this, you might find that it does fray a little bit. It's okay until you've got the knots in. Once you've got the knots in, it will be fine. I might need to rethink the gold twine because that's not going to allow me to knot, is it? So I'll change that. So let's see, never done it. Let's just see if I take this one out, because that is just going to fray too much, it's not going to be able to be used. And I'm going to instead use this just plain red embroidery floss, and we're going to just pop that in. So this is also useful for you if in case you come across the same thing. So I'm going to thread this underneath my tied twine, if I can. Might be a little bit fiddly, so yeah, don't go with the sparkly twine. That was I wanted the extra sparkle, but I think it just was going to make things a bit too tricky. Okay. Alrighty. Just make sure when you're doing this, you've got all of your threads in. Fab. And then you want to hook the other piece of the twine over the other side and just do the same thing. Pop it through. I love those jingle bells. That is so much fun. Okay. I tied my twine so tightly that I can't get the embroidery floss underneath. But hey ho, we do these videos, so we do the trial and error for you. So hopefully you won't have this same struggle. Okay. So the thing, I only had enough to make one Christmas tassel, so you know I couldn't make a prototype using the gold twine, but yes, noted for next time. Okay, so I think I've got that through. Fab. So we're just going to pull that through so it's part of the tassel again. Again, making sure that you've got it, you know, it's sort of folded in half, as it were, like it's in half. And then because we did it last, I just want to try and tuck it in underneath some of this ribbon, just so that it's a bit more sort of disguised a bit. There we go. Perfect. All right. Shall we try that again? So I liked the green and the gold together. So let us find my needle. Okay, fab. So I want to go with the I'm going to go with the little big gold one and then the green and then the small gold. I just really hope that the camera angle is okay. It's I want to make sure that I'm close enough that you can see what I'm doing, but not so close that it, you know, fades up. So we're going to tie a knot at the bottom of the twine. We're going to do a double knot so that it's, you know, a bigger one. Now I'm trying to do right over left, left over right, so that it's super secure. And then you just want to check, good, we're not falling off. And then sometimes you can, if you want to keep, you know, if you want your beads in a specific place, you could do an extra knot on the top of it. So, you know, you could do a double knot here. But I'm not going to because, you know, because the tassel is going to be hanging downwards. So weight wise, it's just going to always come to the bottom. But you might want to do that yourself. It's up to you. Maybe if you wanted beads, you know, at different heights or levels or things. So that's that one. So we've got a couple of jingle bells there, and I've lost it already. Where's it gone? There they are. And we've got our golden green there. So there's the other piece of our twine that we just added. So I've got some small red beads. I don't know if my needle will go through these. It's a bit too small. But I've also got this large piece which I might use as well. What else have we got? We've got some more gold and green. That's sort of a pale green, isn't it? What do we think? Would that go? Maybe too pale. Got a couple of gold beads there. I kind of want to add some more jingle bells. But no, we shouldn't do that. I've also got this charm, maybe. See how we feel. Let me see. Got some small gold, so I might do a series of gold beads if I can find them all. I didn't get all my beads out, I just got some, but I have got my box behind me in case I need to get some more. So I just want one last small gold bead, I think. But I don't think I've got enough, so I'm just going to grab my beads. Here we go. Typically the box was at the very, very bottom, so let's just pull that out. I think that's the same size. Perfect. That's the problem. You try to be organised, but then of course, you know, I don't know what I'm actually going to want to use at the time until it's all built up. So, but hopefully you're liking how I'm doing them, and hopefully this is giving you some ideas for your own journals. Right, so I'm going to start with a small gold bead. That's the same bead, there we go. I was going to say, why wouldn't that go on? Sorry if you can see the top of my head. I don't have, I need to find like a needle threader or something. I don't have one, so I have to do the old-fashioned way. There we go. Another gold bead there. Tiny little gold bead. And then for these, I might want to tie them in a certain place. So I'm going to do the double knot at the bottom first of all. No, I'm not. Just want to see, where would I like them to be? So I want to make sure that I have got, you know, yeah, I'm happy with them. I like them at the bottom. I think I like the feel of the weight. I think that's why I do them at the bottom. I like the weight that it gives the tassel. But you know, you could tie your beads and charms and things wherever you want them. So what I'm doing, when I'm doing the tassels and things, I'm just making sure that I'm giving them a good tug. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I don't mind if they come off now. I don't want them coming off when they're actually on the journal and, you know, being used. The journal's being used. So give your tassels a good tug, your beads and things. Make sure that they're not coming off. Okay, what do we think? Now this gold twine is curling up a bit, but that's okay. There we go. So we have got all these different beads and jangly things. Now these pieces of lace, you know, they're sort of stretchy or whatever. They can be good for larger beads. So on my pink and blue one, I've got this stretchy lace which was tied around this quite large hold bead. If you have anything like that, again, they just came off of Jewellery. I've got one here, which I don't know. It's got a little bead in it. They might be, you know, you could do them on larger pieces like this. Now this one's got a smaller hole, so I don't know if I'll get it through there. But I just think this is a nice colour for something like this, and I don't think I would use it for anything else. So should we just try? Let's just see if we can get it to go through something. Let's see. Oops. I don't know if this will go through the needle. It might be too thick, but again, trial and error, and I can always trim the end if, yeah, that's not going to go through, so I'll just cut that bit off. It never happened, but I do want to really attach this bead, so is there something else I can add it to? I might try this stretchy lace, just to see if that might work. Again, half of this is just trial and error to see what would work. As I say, that one I added to the pink and blue one, it just threaded through because the hole was big. I didn't need a needle or anything, but let's just see. Ooh, I think we're on. There we go. Okay, let's just see if that will go on. I'm tugging, it's coming. There we go, got it. Alright, so I'm just going to get rid of my needle and then I'll show you what I'm doing for this one. Just want to take it off without, there we go. Okay, perfect. So, where is the end of my tassel? Here's my tassel. So, this bead, I'm going to find it again. There we go. Where do I want it to be hanging? I think there is probably about fine. So I'm going to tie a knot in the lace just underneath the bead. There we go. That just obviously keeps it in place there. And then I'm going to tie a knot just above it. I'm sure it won't be going anywhere, but you never know. So I'll do that as well. And then that way I can keep that bead exactly where I want it, because it's just, you know, it's a decorative bead, it's on its own. That's why I'm doing that for this one. So there we go. So I've got a knot on each side, that is not going anywhere, and that bead is now on the lace, and it's, yeah, it's part of the lace part rather than just twine. So that could be another way to do your beads. Do we want to add anything else to this one? What do we do? About half an hour. So I think I still want to figure out how to train this down. I think it's where I've twisted it over. So I might have to cut that one slightly just because it's curling up. But then equally, maybe we like the curl. Maybe. Gives it something extra, I suppose. I didn't use very many of my jingle bells. I have tons, but we are also going to try some winter ones. So, right, moving on. So I've got my, remember we did the tied twine. Now it looks kind of messy at the top, so we want to cover that up, and we're going to use this wide ribbon, and that gives it just that little something extra as well. So hopefully this piece is long enough to give us a nice bow. And again, you're just positioning the bow so that you can't, so that it hides those knots that you did in the twine. Just because it was a bit ugly. So that's why you want the wider ribbon as well. Just to cover that up a bit, hide it. Okay, Now, I'm just going to give myself a little bit more. There we go. These are so fun to make. They're a bit fiddly, especially if you're all fingers and thumbs like I am, but they are great fun to make. Okay. I don't know if my ribbon is too short. I've only got this piece. I've got some of the Santa Claus ribbon, but I've used that as part of the tassel, so I don't really want to add any more of that really, but we'll see. It's one of those things, it will be much easier if you're not doing this on camera, because my arms are like, you know, they're properly stretched out in front of me, so that also makes it look a little bit more fiddly than it actually is. Okay, right. So again, I'm just dyeing this bow as neatly as I can. And I just think it gives it that little something extra. So if you imagine this was hanging down the spine, you've got all of this beautiful tassel, and then you've got this bow along the side as well. So much fun. But you want to make sure that your bow is tight on there. There we go. So I think that'll do. And then I'm just going to trim the ends because I don't want them to fray too much. So in case you've not seen this before, quick tip. So grab the end of your ribbon, and then we're just going to fold it in half, just like that, curl it up, and then with your scissors you're going to come at a diagonal downwards. I hope that's the right way around. There you go. And it just gives you that really nice, you know, almost symmetrical, I don't know if you can see that, symmetrical kind of end. And that does help with the fray a little bit. You know, it's not perfect, but it does help a bit. So again, I'm gonna, fold in half, and there you go. Yeah, there you go. That one was a little bit more symmetrical. Pretty, right? So we've got that. Looking cute, okay. And then I like to add a little bit more bling, especially for Christmas. So we're going to add a bulb pin. So I've got one in here somewhere. Where is it gone? Here it is. So we have this bulb pin, and we are going to thread some bits on. So I've got this, this came from some jewellery, so I'm wondering what that will look like. I don't know if the jump ring on it is good enough, so we'll see. I'll give it a bit of a tug just to make sure. And then I like to add a bit of, you know, something sparkly. So I've got this, again, this came from, this just came from some jewellery. So let's pop that one on. Okay, and then we're going to thread the bulb pin through the loop of your bow, just underneath there. Not through it, basically there's a gap and you just want to pop that in through there. And obviously you might want to make sure you've got it the right way around. Okay. And then you just want to position it so that it just hangs down nicely. You don't have to do the bulb pin idea. You could also thread just a jump ring through there as well, if you prefer. There you go. What do we think? Do we like that tassel? I'm sort of, you know, again, what would you use this for? Well, as part of a wider piece, it feels like it just kind of goes. So there we are, there's our Christmassy tassel. So here's what we've made. Isn't that so fun? So that took me about half an hour, but you know, you could be a lot quicker. Again, if you're not doing it on camera, you can probably be much quicker than that. And as you can see, I'm a horrid perfectionist who just keeps playing with her bows. So here we are. Isn't it cute? And of course you get the jangles of the jingle bells. So I won't attach it to this journal, but just imagine this is your Christmas journal. You can then pop it down the side there. I realise you can't see. How cute would that look? That would look lovely. You can attach it to a paper clip, like I've done here, and then that can just slot in through your journal. But as I say, Natasha from Treasure Books has a really good video on how best to attach them. You know, you can get like Tim Holtz has some rings that you can punch in through your spine, and you could attach it from there. Because obviously, you know, we've got this. In this case, it's a key ring loop. You could just have it as a loop just to tuck it over something, or hidden underneath there, you've actually got the key ring part of it. So, you know, you could do that. That was something. I'm just trying to think what other suggestions she had. I'll link Natasha's video below, just because she did have some good advice at the end of her video about, you know, how best to use them. But anyway, I hope you like how it's come out. I love it. So festive. So I'm going to do some winter ones. I'm just trying to decide whether to... I might do it as part of this video, so, you know, you can keep watching if you like. Or I might do a separate one. We'll see. But it's the exact same process. Just in case you want to see more of that, then, you know, you're welcome to. And I think the only other thing I need to do is probably just trim some of these ribbons a bit, because they might be a little bit long. But this is a 9x6 journal, and if that was tucked at the top, that is almost pretty much the exact right length, isn't it? So I'm just going to do a little bit of trimming. Like this white lace piece, I think, is just maybe a little bit long. And little pieces like this, keep them. Great for clusters. Do keep them. We'll do some clusters with those in another video, I'm sure. So if you do just want to do a bit of trimming, keep them. And then I'm just gonna... I'm wondering whether to tie, to do a, in this ribbon, I'm part wondering whether to, whoops, sorry, I'm always checking things. I'm just wondering whether to, how would it look if we did the pointy ribbon thing? Yeah, I like that. Where's the other side of it? Here it is. Again, it just helps it to stop fraying, and also I think might just tie it off a little bit. Tidy it up and finish it off, I mean. Cute. Alright, fab. Okay, I'm going to stop faffing with it. And I'm going to either do a completely separate video for the winter ones, or I'll sort of put the videos together. But, you know, that is the process. If you want to keep watching, please do. Happy to have you join me. If not, I hope you've enjoyed watching that. So this is part 2 in my sort of mini series for spine tassels. So in part 1 we made this really beautiful Christmassy version, which jingle jangles, so that's the Christmas version. And then this part I want to make some more winter inspired ones. They still jingle, as they should, but we've got a selection of, you know, blue, silver, white, and little like sparkly beads. So if you'd like to make something similar to this one, then come along and we'll make another of these. Okay, so in part 1 I talked a little bit about what you'll need, so the steps are still the same. You want a selection of ribbons and laces and different things. Don't worry too much about how long they are, but you basically want to make it so that if you were to fold these in half, they would be the length of your spine. So I think I aim for around about 16-ish inches, so that when you fold them over, they're about 8 inches, which is about right for an average sized journal. Fab. I'm so addicted to making these, I have to tell you. So I should probably tell you what I've got laying down here. So I've got some silver ribbon that came with a card, that came with gift wrap. Just move these up a bit. I've got some eyelash trim, I've got some ribbons, I've got some white lace. I've got some silver cord, which I didn't really know what to do with. Now we have a purpose for it. Selection of blue ribbons. I've got some blue lace, which I'm going to pop in this one. I've got some white trim here, which looks a little bit like snowflakes, snow. It's quite soft and everything. I've got some, and then you want to add in some kind of twine or yarn or something. So I've got this one that actually came off of a vintage greeting card, so I'm going to pop that one in. Might be a little bit long, so I'm going to pop it in double folded. And then, yeah, as I say, you want to add in some embroidery floss or yarn or twine or something, because this is what we're going to attach some beads and sparkly jingle jangles to. That is all of them. Okay, so once you've got your different pieces laid out, you want something circular to go around them. So I've got an offcut here from a piece of jewellery, but on these two I've used key rings. You know, the ends of key rings? So if you've got anything like that lying around, or some large jump rings, here's a jump ring. This one's a bit small for this purpose, but you know, if you've got some larger jump rings, that would work. So basically you just want something circular that you can hang off to. This came off of some jewellery, if I didn't already say. So we want to thread those on to all your different pieces. Now this is a little bit fiddly, trying to get them all in. If you've got a large keyring, it's a lot easier, but hey ho. Okay, and then you want to thread your ring. Oh, don't forget that blue one. You want to thread your ring to approximately the middle. It doesn't have to be exact, but you know, as best as you can. Okay, I got them all. Oops, using my blue ribbon. Got them all in, and just double check. Have you got them all tied in there? I think I do. And then just check that they're sort of evenly hanging down. So in my case, for example, I think I've got too much embroidery floss on one side. Can you see how that's hanging down? So I'm going to pull the other side of it, wherever it is. So that's, oh, there, found it. So I want to pull that. Okay, I was just trimming the where I folded the vintage twine in half. I was just snipping that. So yeah, it's just a case of tidying it up until you're happy. Okay, so once you're happy, grab your ring. There we go. So we're going to do a little twist at the top, just to keep things nice and tight, or as tight as you can anyway. There you go. And then you want to get some kind of twine or embroidery floss, and we're going to tie that around. Now I'm going to do a double knot on one side. So this is the exact same process for the Christmas ones that I did in part 1, but I thought I would do these ones on camera for the winter ones. Just in case it gives you some ideas of how they can look. You know, it's the same process, but you know, the different looks to them and different charms and beads and things we're going to add. So, right, I have got my knot. Okay, so you want to pull it quite tight. Now, with the embroidery floss and yarn, and I think I've probably said this a few times now, you might struggle a little bit with tightness, but we are going to do a double knot on this side, like so. And then we're going to bring the twine around, wrap it round, and then we're going to do another double knot on the same side as the first knot. I know it's probably a little bit tricky to show you, but this is just how I'm doing it. Now, as I said in part 1, you know, lots of people do this. There's lots of videos online. This is just how I do mine. So I like to add a bow as a centerpiece kind of thing. Alright, that's how we're looking so far. Okay, So the embroidery floss or twine that you use to tie your bow, that's what we want to add some beads or charms to first of all. Got all my bling. Okay, so I'm just going to bring in my first one because I've forgotten already how I did it. Okay, I added some bells. Let's do some bells. Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to add some silver. The silver ones jangle, the white ones don't. I figured that out. So I'm going to add a silver one and a white one because, oops, especially for a winter theme, the white and silver together goes really well with all the blues. Like frost and snow and everything like that. Okay, just pull that through, perfect. And then we want a white one. Perfect. Alright, and then we're going to tie a knot to keep them in place. And then I'm just going to tie a double knot so that they're super secure. They're not going anywhere. The good thing about this, tying the beads or the bells or charms, whatever it is you're adding to the embroidery floss that you tied your bow with, or tied the sort of tassel with, it also means that if your twine frays, you're not gonna suddenly lose your tassel shape or anything, because you know those are secured by the bells, so they're not going to fray past that point, is the point I was trying to make. Okay, there we go. So I hope you're enjoying these. I'm loving making them. I've probably said that a few times now. I made the first one. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'm gonna give it a go because I never made them before. And yeah, it was so much fun. It was honestly so much fun, and I was like, I just have to do a video on these for anyone who hasn't yet tried them. And like, I was watching tutorials, and you know, people were using all kinds of various things that they'd got from, you know, jewellery shops and things online, and I was just like, I don't have any of that. So I started scouring, well, what do I have? And I was like, well, I've got some ends of key rings, that probably came off of key rings that you get in Christmas crackers, let's be honest. I had tons of beads and things like that, so I just basically started thinking about how I could do them cheaply, and also not using a ton of supplies. So okay, cool. And then I've got this cord, the silver cord. I've got some leaves on jump rings. These just came from Jewellery that I got I got a huge bundle of it on eBay, and yeah, that's done me well for all these beads, all these charms, everything. And this is just like a tiny selection. So I'm going to tie the leaf as a knot. I'm going to tie a knot in the cord just to keep it in place. I'm just going to chop the end. Oops. And this also means that this piece of cord, again, it can only fray up to a certain point. So if you're using cord, add something to the end of it. Okay, and again, same leaves. As I say, Jewellery gets you so far with the amount of things that you can use for stuff like this. I think the bundle was only a couple of pounds as well. Those leaves also jingle jangle together, so there you go. That's how we're looking so far. Just checking. Yeah. And then I had, there we go, there's some embroidery floss that I added. So I want to pop some beads on this one. So I've got some sort of sparkly glass beads. I've got some ones that are like frosted glass. What else have I got? I've got some silver beads somewhere. I can see a lot of jingle bells. Where are my silver beads? Here they are. I've got one there, I've got one there. I've got another one. Okay, so these ones I'm going to have to use my needle. So it's a little bit tricky to get the beads on otherwise. So just pop that through there. Okay, what are we going to add? I'm going to add this sort of glassy one, and I'm going to add a silver bead. Cool. And then we're going to tie a double knot in the thread. And I said in part 1, just in case you haven't seen part 1, I said about then, what did I say? I forgot my train of thought there. Oh yeah, I said you could add a knot to the top of your beads if you want them in a specific place. But I'm just doing them one knot at the bottom, and every time I do a knot I'm just tugging to make sure that it's not coming off, because at the end of the day, if it comes off now, it's not the end of the world. I don't want it coming off when you're actually using the journal, so that's why I'm doing that. And then I had another piece of embroidery floss, there you are, which I'm going to add some more beads to. So I'd love to know if you're going to give these a go. Christmas ones, winter ones, colourful ones. I mean, you know, obviously this can be any theme, any theme you want. So because these have sort of a decorative edge, I'm just going to have this one on its own, I think. So I think that's kind of pretty. So I'm just tying a knot through that loop on this one. And I'm going to do a double knot. Cool. And then anytime I do that, I'm just chopping the ends of the embroidery floss, just so that it's not hanging down too far in the way or anything. And then I think on that one that I just did, I might just add an extra knot, if I can, just in the end of the twine. Just again, it stops it from fraying to a certain point, so just adding in a, oops, not where that is, I want it at the end. Oh, I might have cut it too short. Let's try again. my fingers are too big. It's just, yeah, I think I might have cut that too short. So what I would have done, I would have tied a knot in the end there, you know, to stop it from fraying, but I chopped it too soon, so learn from my mistakes. And then don't know if I want to add in any more. I wanted to add that frosted glass bead somewhere, so I'm just seeing where else you might be able to go. I don't think I've got any more twine. I've got sort of a little piece here. Might be able to add it to that, so let's try. Oops. There we go. Let's see if that will go through. Yep. Okay, let's hope this piece is long enough to do my knot. I think it is. There you go. Oh, that just slid right off, so that is why we need to do the double knots. Pop it back on, there we go. Alright, and then I'm going to do a double knot in that one. That was quite a big bead, like a big hole in the bead, so no matter. Okay, is that enough now? I'm just going to give it a tug. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Fab. So we've got this frosted glass one. Awesome. Okay, so what I did for the Christmas one, and I think it did finish it off quite nicely, is in the ends of the ribbons I was turning them into ribbon shapes. So I'm going to do that for this one as well. Okay. I think I might do that with these silver ones. As well. So yeah, I just want to say thank you whilst I'm here for all of your lovely comments and everything on my giveaway video. So many of you got involved, you know, way more of you than I was expecting. You had some really great questions for me, so I'm going to do a video to answer all of those, and any suggestions you've given me, they're added to my list for next year, so I will absolutely do videos for the things that you asked about. You had some really great suggestions, so thank you. It's, you know, it's really great to talk to you in the comments and everything, so thank you for that. It was a really great pleasure to me to see the comments come in and everything. Fab. Okay, so we're now ready to tie our ribbon around. There we go. I'm going to use this pretty silver ribbon. I'm thinking, looking at the time, I might be able to actually just, you know, put these videos together. I'm thinking about it, rather than do a part 1, part 2, which means I probably said a bunch of funny things in the video, so sorry if that's confused anyone. Just because, yeah, looking at the time, we're, this one has taken a bit less time. Okay, so, although, you know, thinking about it, I'm now going to be tying my bow for ages. Alrighty, cute. Oh, I've got that caught up in... Oh, no, I don't. Don't know my own bows. I thought I had it caught up in something, but it was just that this, it has like a border on this one. Alright. I think we're tied on. If you're still watching, by the way, thank you for joining me. It's nice to have the company. Alright, I think I want a slightly smaller bow. Yep. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to cut the ends of the bow in a diagonal again. Oops. Again, stops them from fraying, just finishes it off. Love it. I don't know, is my bow too big? No, I like it. Alright, and then I'm going to thread some more jingle jangles. I never did use my sequins. I had them sitting there, and because they weren't in the tray, I didn't use them, but no matter. Right, I want a bulb pin. Where are we? Where are we? Bulb pin, bulb pin. We're in here somewhere. So I've got a silver bulb pin. And I want to add, I've got these pretty blue charms. Again, they came from that same bundle of jewellery. Huge bundle. So I'm going to slip that through. Love it. Oh, I've so enjoyed making these, I really have. So if you haven't yet to give it a go, please do. They are so much fun. Tons of fun. And they look just so pretty, so pretty. Right. And now for the 5 minutes of me flapping with my bow, because I don't know, I think the ends are too long, so I'm just going to tie that one a bit better. So please feel free to click away because I'm just flapping now. faffing and flapping and goodness knows what. Okay, right, let's make that a bit smaller. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I think it looks better smaller, so I'll show you in a minute. Here you go. Now, frustratingly, this ribbon came sort of folded up, so it's got some strange kinks in it, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Bow is getting smaller and smaller by the day, but that's alright. Just want to make sure it's finished off nicely. Yeah, it's got some strange kinks. I hope that will train in. But the good thing, the bow was the last thing that I did, so if I need to change the bow for something else, then that's fine by me. Yeah, I think I'm just going to, one last cut I promise, and then I'm going to stop flapping, I'm going to turn off the camera, and I'm going to flap for a bit longer on my own. I know I said that was the last cut, I lied, I'm sorry, I lied. I just want to be really sure. I like to, yeah, oh, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm such a perfectionist. I will be keeping all those bits. We're going to make some clusters with those. Alright, I have stopped the faffing. Here we go. Here is how we look. Cute. And we can make a jingle jangle. So that is those. I hope you've liked seeing me make those. I hope you'll give this a go. They're so much fun. So here we go. We've got two wintry ones, and we have got this Christmas one. How cute! I absolutely adore those. So yeah, I hope you'll give this a go. I hope you've I hope you could see everything. I'll only know once I actually play the video back and cringe probably. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed those, and I might do some trimming on this one. That one looks a little bit long, but anywho, I hope you've enjoyed those. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching as always. See you soon.